All right, welcome back. This is part two of have you ever worked with federal agencies? Just finished one in Vegas, okay, and this is a new one. This is another one. We get a call because some agencies need undercover officers. Some agencies need resources. In other words, I mean agencies, I mean FBI and some of these other units, okay? The IRS is very good at what they do. Okay? I got out of it years ago. They're very good at it. But they don't have a lot of law enforcement personnel. We call them boots or people to go out and really do get a lot of people involved. They have good administrative people to come after you, very good at it, but not a lot of foot soldiers. Okay, so they came. We knew some people, and there was a IRS agent that came. He works enforcement and asked for our help. Okay, so this is what we did. The same undercover officer that worked in Vegas on my previous part of this part one they liked him because he looked really good, looked the part. He had a big gray beard, looked like Santa Claus. Short guy, kind of paunchy, looked really good. A very good look as an undercover. He was going to do money laundering. He was going to go to a place that it's a check cashing company. You go in there and you cash your check for $300 and they take 50 of it or whatever they charge, some ridiculous amount. But they were apparently laundering narcotic money. Okay, a couple people in there were so they set up a sting. I don't know exactly how they did this, but they set up a sting where our undercover officer would meet these guys in a bar, and they'd go in the parking lot and he'd tell them the whole time on tapes are rolling, that I'm a cocaine dealer. I just sold a bunch of coke. I need this money. Can you? He can't say take the money. He asked them, "Can you help me out with this?" And of course, that eliminates entrapment. We knew these guys were crooked, so that's why they targeted these guys. And so they said sure. So every week he would show up with federal money, 20,000. He couldn't come up with less than 10 because you can put 10 in the bank. Under 10, nobody says anything normally. Anything over 10, they contact the feds. So our undercover guy would come with like 20,000, 18,000, knowing that they can't question you. Why did you go to a bank? Because he can't. Okay, and they're supposed to report any transactions like that. They're not. They're crooked. Okay, they're charging some like 30% interest or something because that's what they're making on this. Okay, it's crazy. I think for every 1,000 they were taking 250, something like that, 300. So it's a pretty good chunk of change. Well, they love that. I mean, can you imagine? You get cash coming in, you're taking a third of everything that comes in. So they did this for a long time. So as we're doing this, we're doing surveillances. We're following the two people that were doing it to their homes, and the whole time we're doing all this surveillance, because we're the ones that do surveillance. The IRS guys are the inside people doing the flow charts and everything. But in this case, it was good. Not like the FBI where they do it after a crime. These guys are getting ready to arrest people. So they got this thing going. They got, stacks of paperwork. They got flow charts. So we've got the two main players, one secretary in there. That's about it. They have a lot of workers, but these three were the ones that pretty much knew what was going on. They got them on tape. They got them on phone conversation. They got them at the bank. Okay. Well, we didn't realize until this happened how the IRS can really come in and take care of business. Okay. DCB. Okay. Okay, fine. So game day. We're all set up. Got our equipment. Another squad's going to help us, and we're going to. One squad's going to take them down in the parking lot. It wasn't very far from where they worked. And the other squad was going to go into the business and secure it, waiting for the feds to come in. They already had the warrants ready to go. Okay, so lured these two guys out. It's a nearby bar, like 2 blocks away. And they're in there talking. They come out to the parking lot. He hands them the cash. Of course, everything's, undercover van's going, filming, everything's on. There's wire on. They've got him, man. I mean, there's no way you could get out of this. Even with sleazy attorneys, no way, Jose. They call that hand-to-hand with a man. When you go hand-to-hand with an undercover officer, the undercover officer's going to go testify. You're done. You're done. Either civilians and civilian victims get on the side. There's always interpretation of identification. I'm not sure if it was the right guy. Some believe it or not, some ethnicities like Asians have told us they can't differentiate blacks from each other. Really weird. Okay, that's just the way they can't do it. Some of them can't do it, or they see Mexicans and they can't figure out who's who, even though the Mexicans really don't look alike. Just that happens a lot when you got civilian witnesses. I'm doing a little side note here, but people got to know this, and so. So when you go hand-in-hand with a man, you're done. He's going to testify you did it, and that's it. I mean, it's pretty much done. Okay, so as they're doing this in the parking lot, of course, we jump them. Okay, so we got them. They weren't criminals in the sense they're going to shoot us and run us and rob. They're just white-collar crime, money laundering people. So hook everybody up, hit it. So the other squads hit the business. Now we hit it in a hurry only because we felt that maybe the word might get out. They may have laid back people watching this because we are dealing with some money. They may go back and tell them, oh my gosh, they got these two guys, and everybody starts freaking out. This way, nobody goes anywhere. Okay, so we secured the building. Not a very big building, it's a counter, 4 or 5 desks, a safe in the back. It was a good side, but it wasn't like a big bank or something. So we come back to the scene, and the IRS had already pulled up a very large truck. Not a semi, but a pretty good sized truck. That they're going to load stuff. I'm going, well, that's weird. Okay, well, we got our business to do. We're going to take care of these guys and all that. So they didn't want to give the combination up for the safe. Okay. So I'm listening to all those conversations. A lot of it's in Spanish because a lot of their employees are, well, the two crooks were Latino, but some of the workers there, the secretaries, they were kind of English Americans speaking, Spanish speaking. So they told the two guys, give it up or we're gonna call for a blowtorch and we're gonna cut that door right off. Okay. I'm going, oh, that's not my responsibility. I'm just sitting there. So they looked at each other and tried to decide whether they should, whether we're bluffing or not. And so he goes, you got 5 minutes, 4 minutes now. I mean, they were gonna, no nonsense, man. They had service. They had one of these trucks. I don't know if you've seen them. I've seen them on the side of the road helping semis. It's a whole truck. The entire back of the truck is nothing but a rack with tools and settling tanks, and because they go out there in the middle of nowhere. I've seen them, and we've been RVing a lot, and they pull up to a stranded semi, and they have to be able to do everything, welding, cutting, everything, and so they take all their stuff with them. And one of those trucks sitting there. So I'm looking at those settling tanks, and I was a welder back in the day, and they're ready to do some cutting here. Okay, they don't care. So they finally gave the combination. Okay, so they opened up that, and there's all kinds of money in there. There's like $3 million in there, and I'm sure some of it was legit, maybe. I don't know. Okay. Again, we're just kind of doing the enforcement part, and the IRS agents are coming in there like full speed. So we're talking everything else, and I'm looking over as we're just talking to the crooks, and you see a desk go out, chairs going out, boxes of evidence. I see cash like being put in boxes, just like this. I mean, literally $10,000, 8-10 stacks like this, Then when they get a box full, they close it, they seal it, they initial it, throw it in the truck. I was like, whoa. I mean, they're booking money like you and I would book like socks. I mean, they really didn't care. They just, they're very nonchalant people that deal with that kind of money. Whew. Anyway, so we're there about 15 minutes. Well, in 15 minutes, that place, and when I say cleaned out, I mean cleaned out. The safe is open. There's nothing in there. They took out everything. There's empty shelves on the floor. Okay. All the desks are gone. The chairs are gone, the lamps are gone, the phones are gone, the water cooler's gone. The only thing left is the counter and doors. They literally took everything. It was amazing. I mean, it's in a matter of 20 minutes, everything. I mean, they had a lot of people there just for that purpose. Woo! Okay, so I don't remember the amount that they seized in cash. I heard, just because we heard from the agents later, because we're not the administrative part. We just booked their bodies for them, and they continued pursuing on their end. Somewhere in the area about $10 million in cash. And I'm sure some of that in there is probably because you come in with your check and you want cash, right? They just give you money right there. But who knows? According to the IRS, it's all laundered money. So that went back into your coffers. Okay, they don't care about that. You want the money back? Then come and get it. Sue us. Come in with receipts where you got that money from, and we'll give you money back on. To this day, I worked with asset forfeiture. Nobody ever comes in to get their money back. They just figure, King's X, I'm out of here, I got away, and I'm not going to go to prison for 30 years, and they just never come back with the money, okay? Which is pretty cool. And of course, they ran a dog by the money too, which helps their case. Forgot about that. They ran a narc dog, and the narc dog responded to a lot of the money. So they can actually say in court that the dog responded to the money that it's coke tainted. So I forgot about that part. That helps your case in big time, big time. So that was pretty much it. We met them a couple weeks later. They wanted to have a dinner. They bought a little dinner for us. I guess you can afford a dinner, a steak dinner for, when you get $10 million, you fork out a couple thou to pay, but you can't. No, let's say that. But they took us out to dinner, and it was nice, it wasn't anything fancy. And we all had a celebratory toast to each other and how bitching we all are. And they were happy because they made a great case. And we were happy because some of the money was siphoned off for us. They gave it to the city for our participation. They have these bean counters that come up with, how many personnel did you use for how long. It's a formula. And they, I don't know how much we got. That's not my purview, but they said it was a pretty good amount. So what the heck? They basically, our city just wanted us to be paying our salary and our time. That's pretty much what. We're not in a profit business here. They just wanted to offset, because all this time we're doing this for them, we should be doing something for you. But then again, we kind of are, So it's kind of a weird thing there. But so it worked out really well. Had a good time. I learned a lot on this because I wasn't a supervisor yet. I was first level. That guy that did that was one of my subordinates, so it felt good I was helping him the whole time. Coordinate stuff and making sure he was okay and making sure he doesn't have any problems, because I worked undercover, and as I became a supervisor, the lead thing about going on a track here, when you're an undercover officer, you want to be focused on the task. You don't want to be thinking about administrative stuff. You want to be thinking about some asshole lieutenant. You don't want to think about my kids need new shoes. You've got to be focused. What you're doing is very dangerous. And I'll come to a story later on, what I did, but it's very dangerous work. And so you got to be focused. So I'm keeping everything away from him. In fact, I even sat him in the car next to me, just sitting there, not talking to anybody. I think what they call that in acting, getting centered, okay? But he is sitting there thinking about what he has to do, how he's going to do it. Because the bottom line is, he's got to make sure he does it correctly because they may kill him. That's kind of important, okay? Make a mistake, they'll shoot your ass if they think you're a cop. So he has to be very good at what he does, okay? So I mean, people walk up, what do you want? Come over, what do you want? I mean, I don't want, what's the matter? Just, what do you want? He needs to get ready for this. Oh, okay, well, people that don't know that, people that know that, like my supervisor would say, oh, I got it. But people that are administrative guys have no clue. They're like cooks. Think they're cooks, they read a cookbook. No. Unless you've done it. And so I'd shield him. I'm not pompous. Other supervisors shielded. I had my supervisor shielded me when I was undercover. You know, I was so nervous one time, my first one I really did with a money flash, that he went in there and had a shot of whiskey to calm me down because I was like, oh my gosh, you know, because again, I'm focused on this. I got a new wife, I got a kid, you know, things go bad here real fast, and I'm going to make sure I'm okay on this. Okay, so anyway, so it worked out really well. We really enjoyed it, and they were a very good team of IRS agents, if I can even say that. But there are good guys out there, very professional, doing their job the best they can. So hope you enjoyed that one. We'll see you later. Okay, bye-bye.